Have you ever heard of the suicide forest?
You know, I hadn't until...
I brought it up.
Yeah.
I know.
It's interesting.
It's pretty spectacular. I guess not spectacular. Like
Spooktacular.
Spooktacular, yeah. So, we're going to talk about it. Ready?
Let's go.
Let's go. Hello, I'm Ash.
And I'm Lynn.
And this is Only If You Can Keep Up. Okay, yeah, to start off, I have a cold, and I sound like I'm underwater.
Do you feel like you're underwater, too?
No, my ears feel fine.
Do you feel like you're in a deep, dark forest?
No, I'm not there. But, like, I just feel like, I don't know, I feel great, but it's like the voice and the cough, and I'm going to try. Okay. I think it's a little bit of bronchitis.
As long as I can understand you. Go.
I hope you can. So.
I can understand.
Okay, suicide forest. Essentially, it is literally a place a lot of people go to commit suicide.
Yeah,
like
to unalive themselves.
Yes, it is.
It's known to be the second most notorious place for suicides, next to the Golden Gate Bridge.
Golden Gate Bridge is number 1, and suicide forest is number 2. It's mostly Japanese people that go, but some people come from all over the world, literally, to end their life inside of this forest.
What a wonderful place to...
I mean, it's like, if you just Google, like, suicide forest, it looks beautiful. Yeah. And I will say,
majestic.
I did Google it, and I was kind of like, what am I going to find? Because it's called suicide forest. Like, that's what we've nicknamed it, essentially. Yeah. But, like, when you Google it, you don't see any bones or bodies or anything. Right. It's literally a beautiful forest. It's beautiful.
Yeah, beautiful. It's... Well, they call it also the Sea of Trees, because the
vegetation.
Yeah, the trees grow so big and so thick,
and so like they intertwine, and they're like
their roots and everything.
Exactly,
yeah.
And it's really dark and dank apparently because like no sunlight can come through.
Yeah,
and
I guess they grow so thick and so close together that the sun's essentially blocked. So it feels, not only is it dark, but also it's super quiet. It's at the base of Mount Fuji, which is a couple hours out from Tokyo. So it's supposed to be like this big, beautiful forest that it like grew upon the lava that was spewed from Mount Fuji after the big eruption in the ninth century, like 860 something. And then all of that.
So the forest grew on top of lava.
Right.
Like, is that not like mystical in its own? Because I thought lava pretty much equaled dead underneath it. You know what I mean? Like, because it burns it. But I guess that amount of time it would grow.
Because I guess that eruption lasted for like 6 months. And it also buried several villages around it.
Oh my goodness.
So like, talk about the spook from that too.
I mean, yeah. It's got to be haunted.
Yeah.
Like, we'll talk about more haunts later, but it is definitely got to be haunted. It's actually called, and I am going to butcher this because I cannot do this accent to save my life. But, I'm going to try. Aokigahara.
I'm not even gonna try, but I'm gonna call it Uh-Oh Forest.
Uh-Oh Forest, yeah. Aokigahara is the actual name of the forest, and like she said, it means the Sea of Trees because it is literally a sea of trees.
And some of the trees like are more than a few hundred years old. So
I think one was like 300 years old, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Or some of them are just they're very old. It's very
super thick and dark, like forest area, but then it's also super quiet.
30 to 100 people take their lives every single year in the forest. Some years it's less, some years it's more. I think the thing I read said, I want to say it was like 1999. It was 108 that year, and that was the highest year.
Yeah, I read 2004 there was 108 as well.
Okay, maybe it was 2004.
Because at some point...
I know it was a 2000, but I didn't write that
year. At some point
down.
It got to be so many, so that they stopped reporting the numbers, right?
Yes, they stopped reporting the numbers completely because they were scared. The Japanese government was scared that was causing more people to do it. Yeah. So they do not even count anymore. I think they count for themselves because governments do stuff all the time like that. But the public is not allowed to know the amount every year anymore.
Yeah.
How did this start? Like, how did this forest become a place for suicide? Like, it's a forest. It's a beautiful forest. Why did we choose it to become such a hot spot for something so tragic? Like, what?
Like, why and when did it start?
Exactly. Like, I don't think there's, like, an actual date that says it starts, but there's, like, the thing I read said that there's several different reasons why they believe it started to become the forest, and one of them is the Japanese practice of, I'm sorry, Yuba State.
And that's where they...
And this is just a tale. There's
right.
no, this is just a tale. This is the act of disposing of the elderly.
Right. They take their oldest or weakest member and kind of take them out and let them starve or be exposed to the elements.
They drop them
and
off at the base of the forest and say, go. It's mostly members that become a burden on their family.
Yeah.
And they just...
Especially when, like, food's scarce and stuff like that. Times
or,
are
like,
hard.
if they get too ill that the family can't take care of them or get the medication for them. It's usually because of illness. Like, that was the most common thing. And then I also read that some elderly people ask... Sorry, I hit my mic cord. They ask to be taken to the forest, to be let go, because they know in their brains that they are the burden.
Well, in the Japanese, some view suicide as a completely different...
They had, not anymore, back a long time ago, they had a different view of suicide. Like, it wasn't like...
it was more of like a respectful way to control your life rather than...
It was a morally responsible decision.
Yeah.
So, like, if your family, you had a family of, say, 4 or 5 or 2 even, or 3, and you couldn't afford to feed them all, usually the male of that family would decide to go to the forest to take care of himself, because he knew there was not enough food to go around. There was not enough resources and all of that to go around. And this was a long time ago. This was nowhere anytime. Like, I'm talking like before the 1900s, like a very long time ago. More than 300,000 people yearly were committing suicide in Japan at this time.
Oh, yeah. Like, yeah, I've read that Japan has one of the highest rates.
Not the highest, though.
I think, and a lot of it has to do with their, like, social expectations and their money, because they are so focused on... well, they say a lot of these suicides happen in, like, around March, which is the end of the Japan's fiscal year.
Yes.
And a lot of them were due to, like, the people that came back out and actually didn't commit suicide. They were asked, and they'd say... because they lost their job, or because money was too tight, or... because
they couldn't feed their family.
Yeah. And it usually came down to money a lot of times.
Right. Yes. But 300,000 people a year.
Crazy.
Isn't that insane?
Yeah.
Like, that's... And I know suicide rates are high, especially now, like, even after COVID and stuff. Like, they get higher. But 300,000 people... I don't know, like, our suicide rates, and I don't really want to look it up, because that just absolutely shatters my soul.
They say most of the people that have committed suicide out there, they said most of them were hangings.
Yes, I actually have that. The number 1 was hanging, the number 2 was jumping from bridges, and the number 3 was pills.
I saw drug overdose was one of the top ones too.
Those are the top 3 ways to kill yourself.
And they'd ask, I guess they asked people, like the ones that come back out and like change their mind or whatever, why there? Why did you choose to go there? And a lot of them say it's because they didn't want to be alone. Like, they wanted to be alone away from their family.
Right.
But they knew that so many others had done it there that their soul wouldn't be alone. Like,
right.
So they're going to be with the others who felt that way.
Right.
It's like a forest of lost souls, or, that's what a lot of people believe, that it's... Some think it's haunted by demons and like dark, or like it's the Yurei. Is that the Yurei? It's like the Japanese ghosts, like tormented souls that are,
Never heard of that. I said like, yeah. But yeah, I didn't do a lot of the haunts research. You did, so how can it not be haunted?
Right.
I mean, it goes back...
You go all the way back to the 800s, when you've got the villages that were buried. So you've probably got all those people.
And then wasn't there I know you said you did this research, a samurai?
Yeah. Well, meditation. I read about monks. Yeah, there were some monks that went... I don't know when this was, but there were 18 what they called self-mummified monks, where they would go out to this forest and do these like deep meditations, and they would survive only off like tree bark and leaves.
Yes, yes.
And it was like this extreme like ritual they did, and they believed they could transform their bodies by burying themselves underground, and then they would essentially mummify, but then they'd find their bodies, and they've actually got them on display around Japan. Like, there's 18 of them, I guess. So you've got those souls.
Wait, they have the bodies on display?
That's what the mummified monks are. I read they've got them displayed in different places.
Oh my gosh!
But
I don't know about that.
They've got, you've got the Ubasuit. Might be saying that wrong. The myth of the elderly family members being left out there. You've got the possibility of the monks, and then you've got, I guess, numbers started getting big around the 60s when that novel came out.
Yes, the novel was called Tower of Waves, translated in English. Obviously it says it's different with Japanese words. The author was, I'm going to try, because I wrote authors, because I feel like I have to give credit even though. Yeah. Okay, Sichio I'm butchering it, Matsumoto. He was the author. The book
is that the one about the couple that went out?
Yes, it's about two people. They fell in love, but it would never work out. Like, this is just a general description. Obviously, I did not read the book. I'm pretty sure it's in Japanese. So.
Pretty sure.
At the end of the movie, a woman grabs a bottle of pills and walks into the forest, and then it, like, cut scene over.
Okay.
It's actually a short story. It's not like a full long movie. But I also read that they, from that story, they have adapted many movies and plays and stuff in Japan on this story.
Yeah.
So after that, after the 1960s, it started ramping up a little bit, the suicide rates there, because people would watch the movie and be like, oh my gosh. I read that they
found bodies back in the 50s, but I guess it got to be more.
Yeah. And then, there was another book. Okay, this book, trigger warning on the book. It is literally called The Complete Suicide Manual.
Oh, wow.
It is a Japanese-only book. It was written by Wataru Tsurumi. It came out in 1993. It is a 198-page book on different ways to end your life.
Wow.
Pros and cons.
Like, but I guess
it's literally like
Japan's just
the way I understood it. It's like pills. This is what'll happen to you, but this is what won't happen to you. Do you want to do it this way? You know what I mean?
Wow.
There's an actual chapter on the suicide forest. And it describes how it is the perfect place to die. Perfect place to die.
It's so secluded. It's so quiet. Quieter than any...
It says that you can simply disappear, and your family, your loved ones, never have to see your body.
Wow.
Like, you take your burden away. You literally take a trip and you never come home. Like, that's the whole point of this freaking chapter. It's literally telling people to do it, essentially. It also has a map of the bus routes to take to get to the right entrances.
Oh, wow.
And how to avoid suspicion from people. To get in there and do what you want to do.
That's wild.
Several people who have accomplished suicide in the forest have had this book on them.
Wow. That's crazy.
And after that was 1993. That is when it skyrocketed. Yeah. That's when it went into hundreds of people a year would be found in the forest. Yes.
Wow. That is wild.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. And I've read that, like, they do the big annual searches and they always bring in so many, but the bodies are brought, they have like a special police room, I guess, like the forest police area, and there's this like myth that if the bodies are left alone, that their spirits will cry and scream, and that they'll actually move their bodies on their own. So like the first night they're not supposed to be left alone. So I guess the workers will actually like argue over who's going to stay with the body, and
it's probably
so crazy.
Scary. I know Japanese especially have very, very, very strong traditions with death in general. So yeah, that's got to be crazy.
Yeah, and they've put up signs now. I don't know how long they've had those up, but
I got a whole thing on prevention.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll talk about.
But, a lot of people think, so some think there's demons, and some think they're just ghosts, like just tormented souls. But some people think that the ghosts are like evil in a sense that they lure them in.
I was going to say, I saw that it's like a calling.
Yeah.
Like, you kind
of like a siren call.
It's like
or
at
something.
some point you actually know you have to go into the forest to do it. Like, it's like a pull.
Yeah.
Like it's pulls your soul or something is what I read pretty much. Yeah, that's crazy.
And I've read too that something with the way that the trees grew and the composition of the soil and everything and the roots and how it's all intertwined, that something like their souls like kind of spread throughout, so that not only are their souls there, but the trees are actually like working with them to pull in.
Well, honestly, if you think about it, if a body dies on the ground, it decomposes into the tree, the earth, and
all that energy. I mean, energy
becomes one with the trees, essentially. If you don't get found, and several people don't get found for years.
Yeah. Well, and then you've got some that are, sorry, this is a big one, but they're torn apart by animals and just drugged different places. So
yes.
And I'd read that, like, since there is so many untouched parts, there's rare wildlife out there, like Asian bears and things like that can just tear. And some people don't die by suicide, but they go out. People do hike, so people will still just go out there to hike.
There are trails and paths that you can go along and hike, but I think
it's a big tourist area.
It's more like, not the edge, but the edges. Like, you don't go super deep within. Yeah. But, like, if you leave that trail for any reason, you better know what you're doing, because
it's so easy to get lost.
There's no cell phone service.
Yeah. Yeah, you lose cell phone service.
There's no GPS.
The compasses don't work because of the ground, being from... coming from a volcano.
And then the top is a canopy. Just picture like a blanket over the top of the forest.
And they say it's so quiet, like no one can hear your screams, because everything is just absorbed. Because the ground is like completely, it absorbs the sound. It's like porous because of all from the eruption and everything hardening with all the lava stuff. It just completely like absorbs the sound. So it's like you're completely isolated. It's completely quiet. And the ground's so porous, it absorbs screams and everything. So like,
you have to think about, you have like dirt, you have earth. And on top of earth, you have a layer of lava. Right. And then on top of this layer of lava, you have now vegetation that has grown, and trees and roots and moss and all of this stuff. So there is literally a blanket barrier on this earth, which earth helps echoes. Yeah. So there's no echoes. There's no... And then the top is another barrier to the outside world. Like,
it's just, everything's just enclosed in this little... Yeah. And then you've got, the natural, like, magnetism of the irons from the volcanic soil would throw off the compass, would shut down you're not going to get
GPS at
anything
all
to work on your phone. Exactly. They say phones won't even, sometimes they won't send and receive anything. So you're just completely isolated out there in this quiet.
So if you leave that trail, you could get lost, and then
who knows what could happen. I mean, you starve or you
fall, you don't come back. I saw a thing where hikers will put tape with flags on it around trees, because some people do decide to leave the trail and just explore, because we all have a curious mind and we want to explore. Right. And they'll leave flags with trees around trees so they can get their way out. Yeah. Like find their way out. But I also read some people do that in case they change their mind.
Oh, and go in with that intention, and
they know they can get their way back. Yeah. So they aren't succumb to, oops, I just got lost kind of thing.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So in 1990, the government finally decided to do something about suicide in the forest, because the rates were growing. This is before that book came out even. Yeah. They set up hotlines. They had political speeches, like their leaders were trying to tell people, let's, help someone. Yeah. Don't go in the forest, all that. It did nothing. It actually, they actually got worse over the next 3 years.
Because more attention to it.
3 years later, that book came out.
Yeah.
The book is extremely controversial. Yeah. I can't. It's very controversial.
And because you probably got your old way thinkers in Japan who still believe it is a respectful thing.
Exactly.
And
some people literally won't sell it in their stores. Mm-hmm. Like, wouldn't. I'm sorry. I don't even know if you can get it now. Yeah. You might not be able to. In the 70s, I think we already said this maybe, they began the annual searches. It was 1970 was the first year of the animal search. They always almost did it in March, around March.
Yeah, after the end of that fiscal year.
Exactly, at the end of March. So, prevention, like the government started taking action and preventing things. In 2004, the government increased the height of all bridge railings. So people could no longer jump. Like, you couldn't climb to the top to jump. Like, I think it was more of I saw a picture. It was like an arch almost. Oh, wow. So you couldn't jump off bridges anymore. It helped a little, but I don't think it helped much. If you do bring a tent and you camp, they only want you to camp for 2 days. But if they see your tent, the prevention patrol will check on you daily.
That's good.
They will make sure you're in the right mind. They will make sure you're okay. And they try to get you to leave because they don't want you there. They don't want you to take your life. They want you to go and go home. So if it's I think they check on you every day, but if it's more than 2 days, they kind of don't leave you alone. Like, let's go, come on. Because I think a lot of people go out there and have to think about it. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Well, then they've got just some people who are just going out to hike, and that's their intention.
Exactly.
But then they believe, that they start changing your thoughts once you get out there, that the souls start taking over.
Okay, it's hard enough to be quiet.
Right?
Like, whenever you are in that kind of quiet,
that isolation and being completely...
Your brain is no longer yours.
I've watched those videos of people going in those sound...
I was going to say, have you ever heard of that one? It's that one sound room. I'm sure there's more than one. But people can't spend more than 11 minutes in there.
They start literally going
losing
insane.
Their mind in 11 minutes.
Yeah, could you... It would be so surreal out there. So weird. Well, then you got the ones who are hiking... I know they have their tapes and their ribbons and stuff, but that ground, the ground is so hard they can't even get their like their axes
Pokey
and their
thing in there.
like
I don't
they
even know
can't
what it's called.
their picks or their what do you call them spikes. They can't even get like to climb to
because
hike
it's
like
under lava.
Yeah,
like
completely,
lava's under there, right?
It's just
in 2017 they posted 24/7 security cameras at the main entrance, and they began increasing their patrols to hourly, pretty much throughout the day.
That's good.
And the cameras, from what I understood, is they would watch people go in and try to make sure they came out.
Okay.
And if they didn't come out, they would go in and do a patrol to make sure that person wasn't lost or, ending their life or something along those lines. If you are seen anywhere near or in this forest, you will be spoken to by Prevention Patrol, no matter what. Even if you're just there to hike, you have your hiking gear on and everything, it doesn't matter. They're going to talk to you to try to see where your mind is.
Well, that's good.
They also started posting signs after 2017. Like, they're on the trails mostly, but there are some off of the trails. They say things like, think carefully about your children and your family.
Yeah, and there was one that's like, please reconsider.
Exactly. Your life is a precious gift from your parents. Don't waste it.
That's good that they put those up there, I guess.
And several people who have came out have said those signs saved their lives. Just
knowing that somebody's
reading it and knowing. Yeah.
Especially if you're like raised in your like tradition is, so different from ours.
Oh,
and you're
so
thinking
different.
like, this is the only way out. Like,
Exactly.
This is what I'm expected to do. And then you see those and you're like, okay, maybe they don't think I need to,
maybe I can change my mind. Yeah.
Because some of them may not even be depressed. They may just think this is the only option I have.
Out.
Yeah. I guess that is a depression, but also like when you've learned that might be the only option, like it's different than, I don't know. Their whole way of life is so different because they are so demanding, and the like society is so demanding there. Like, we think it's hard here, but
I think living there would be astronomically hard. Like, I really do. Like, for them, it's normal because that's their life. But us seeing that,
right?
I don't know. I don't think I know it would take a special American to be able to live in that. You know what I mean? Like, and I know several do. So many Americans have moved to Japan for whatever reason, and they do amazing, but it takes a very, very, very amazing kind of human to switch cultures like that. Like that big of a culture change. Yeah.
I don't know. It sounds like an amazing place to see. Like,
would you go? No, obviously not for the reasons that it's named for.
The caves are really intriguing to me because I read that there's like 100 different caves at the base of Mount Fuji.
Can you get to them?
Yeah. So like there's this ice cave, and I think it's a wind cave. And like, I guess kids actually take schools on field trips. Like, I don't think they go like into the forest, but to see the caves and stuff like that, I think they actually take schools there. So like, there's parts of the forest that are not all doom and gloom. Right. But my ankle popped. Did y'all hear that?
I thought you hit the table. That was a good pop.
Good pop.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I would like to see it. I don't know that I'd go into the forest too far.
I would never travel to Japan for any reason.
Ooh, my tummy growled.
Oh my gosh, did you hear mine earlier? We need to eat.
They're linking up
these.
together.
Right.
They're like, we're hungry.
I would never travel to Japan for my own personal reasons. That is too fast, too hustle bustle. But like, if that was in my backyard, like if I lived there, I would go there. Yeah. I think it would be beautiful. I would not stay. I would not stay long. I think just to go and see that kind of...
I don't even think I need to go in. I just see... I want to see like the Mount Fuji and like the...
I would go in. Just... I am a woods girl. And I'm talking woods. I'm not talking that kind of jungle. I'm talking backdoor woods. You know what I mean? I love that.
Yeah.
To be in a place where it's essentially like a beautiful moss-filled rainforest.
Yeah, that does sound nice.
I would love to just go in, see it, and leave. And never go back. Like,
right.
I think it would be the most beautiful place. And like, some part of me can get my head around why that would be where you would want to go.
Yeah, I can understand it.
I mean, I don't want anybody in the world to ever commit suicide, but I get, like, especially if you think...
It makes sense, though.
If you think that is where you need to be, I can't... You know, what?
I got an Asian bear in my stomach.
You have an Asian... I didn't hear it that time at all. I didn't hear it at all.
So hungry. Okay. Yeah, I find it also interesting. I think it sounds like a beautiful place, and I always try to put myself in people's shoes, and I can see why. I can see what is enticing, what draws them, why they do it. I'm not saying it's good, obviously.
No.
If you ever feel like you're at a point where you need to go to the sea of trees, aka suicide forest, please
don't.
Please don't
like
go.
Unless you want to go see the nature. I understand that, because I also have like a morbid brain, and I think that'd be cool to say I went to the suicide forest, which is a horrible thing to say because people end their lives there. Yeah. But I don't want to go there for that reason. I want to go there to see the serene, beautiful. Yeah. That's where
the nature, the beauty of nature there.
That's why I want to go. And not gonna lie, I'd like to hear a ghost. Like, I'd like to hear, I read where it's so still and so silent, you can't hear animals move. Like, you hear nothing.
But you'll hear the screams. The screams and the cries. And they say the yuki, like these Japanese spirits, they're actually, they say they usually show up, the ones that have seen them, in the clothes that they were buried in. So, like, their burial kimonos or whatever they were buried in. And then, now, of course, if the body was left out there and they're whatever, they'll see them in their regular clothes. But they have hair in their face, translucent skin, and they have these cries and these screams that are, like, just, like, eerie. Like, so I guess people have actually claimed to see them. But I don't know. It's just, it's really intriguing.
Yeah. And I read, too, where some of the trees are so contorted and, like, crazy, windy and stuff. Yeah. That people will actually think they see a ghost or a spirit or an animal or something, and they'll run and they'll fall.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. This guy, he was hiking. He was just simply hiking, and the trees, like, he thought he saw a ghost or a bear or a spirit, and he took off running, and he actually fell and hurt himself. And I guess he was unconscious for a few days, but he did come to, and he did come out, and he said that was his story. Like, he thought he saw a spirit, something big coming for him, but
because if you're there long enough and you start, like, losing your mind a little bit anyway.
The trees were just waved just right, and there's no sun or light, so the only light is pretty much like twilight at all times. Like, it's that dusk feeling.
Yeah, and then you start seeing things that aren't there.
Exactly. And it's the earth is not flat. It's very dangerous. Yeah. You know, so.
Yeah. That's so, I find it all so interesting. I love stuff like that. I don't love the bad parts that have happened, but, like,
I really don't. I don't.
It's really interesting.
There was actually a YouTuber, I'm not saying his name, that got in big
I read about that.
Because he
went out there and recorded.
I'm pretty sure he literally, like, he was a YouTuber, like, he from, I want to say America, right?
I'm pretty sure.
And he went there to find bodies. Like, that was his goal, to walk around and find bodies. And he
reached his goal.
He recorded it. And I want to say he found a man hanging, recorded all of it, and put it on YouTube.
And I guess his, like, reactions to it weren't what people wanted.
I don't care. That is not something for the public to see. No. I mean, we have police officers that go in there to do that, and I guarantee you those police officers will need therapy for the rest of their lives. That's to find those kind of people. And he, like, broadcasted it all over the YouTube. And I saw somewhere where it got, like, millions of views in the first hours of posting. It's now taken down. He has now been sued. It's a big deal. And that's another reason why I think the government stopped posting their yearly rates, because
people come in for
those kind of reasons. I mean, I don't. It is.
And I know they're interested. I know, and I know it's a public place, but that is just so disrespectful to the family, to the people, to
everything. Like, you can't do stuff like this. Like, this is a horrible, 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 beautiful place. Yeah. It's more horrible than beautiful. It really is.
It's like a beautiful, horrible,
horrible, beautiful, no good, very bad place. Very good place.
It's spooktacular is what it is.
It's not, I don't know.
Yeah. They say never go alone and never go at night. But then you've got the daytime is still like night. So just never go alone. If you ever go, don't go alone.
My tummy says it's time to go. Anybody that would ever go there, I would hope. So there are several movies about it too. There's one,
I read that too.
There's one called The Forest. I kind of watched a trailer for it. There's one, and it's got, oh my God, I cannot think of her name. Her sister gets lost in the forest. Like, lost. Like, it's not she gets lost if she goes into the forest. I do know, I've seen commercials or previews. I wouldn't
mind watching, it'd be interesting.
Previews on that one too. But I think a lot of them, and I haven't seen them, so I don't know, are kind of based on the spooks and ooks within the forest, not necessarily the forest itself, just like the ghosts and the spirits and
That's the part I'm more interested in, I think, than anything, because there's got to be so much history there.
Exactly. That has to be like a hot spot for spirits. Yeah. And hopefully, I don't even want to say it because I'm different, so never mind. I was going to say, like, do I want to say it or not?
Just stop.
Okay. Hopefully the people who do go there with serenity in mind are at peace. Yeah. Because it was a peaceful ending. It was a peaceful place. Yeah. You know, I don't, once again, want anybody.
Right. We're just saying that, you know, may their souls rest in peace.
Exactly, yes.
And that they're not tormented, because the tormented spirits that are there, I feel like it's different than the ones who go for, not for necessarily, serenity. Yeah, like to just, I don't know. Yeah.
But people travel there. Yeah. To end their life. Like, they will travel from all over the world. Americans, Canadians, Russians, it doesn't matter. Like, they will travel there to people from Alaska.
You imagine, like, I would totally give up, like, halfway into my travels. Like, nope, not going anywhere.
Okay, I would never travel there. I would never, hold on, no. I would never travel, period. Like, I'm not leaving the United States of America, which I
You have before?
I was in high school, so that was different. Yeah, and I went to Mexico. I didn't travel.
That's not really far. I mean, it's still North America.
I left the country, but I didn't.
I've never even done that, because I backed out on that trip.
You wussy.
Well, I just didn't want to spend the money.
I don't blame you. But do you have anything else on it?
I don't think so. I think I covered what I got.
Okay, I do want to say that suicide is horrible, and if you have those thoughts or anything like that. The National Suicide Hotline is 988.
988.
And I'm pretty sure that's everywhere. Yeah. Or just talk to someone. Yeah. I mean, I know. Cue dogs. Talk to the doggies.
Yeah. Sometimes animals are good therapists.
Talk to
find someone to talk to, anyone to talk to. There's always another
way. Or call the hotline.
Yeah. There's always another option. There's always a way to.
Always. If you'd like to contact the beast in Lynn's belly, you can do so at only if you can keep up at gmail.com. Why'd you go so deep?
It was the rumbles that did it.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Bye. Bye.